Hey YouTube, today I'm pitchside at the football because in this episode we're going to be reviewing the creator expert Man United Old Trafford set.
Hey guys, and welcome to Brick Talk TV. Terry here, and today we're going to be looking at the Manchester United Old Trafford creator set. That's set number 10272. The set was released in 2020 and it consists of 3,898 parts. It's still available to buy at the time of recording and retails at £249.99 in the UK. Now before I start this review, I just want to say that I'm not a Manchester United fan. In fact, I support a different team in the Premier League. So I had mixed feelings about whether to purchase this set in the first place. But as a football fan and a Lego fan as well, I thought this was a perfect combination of the two worlds. So I felt I should try it out anyway. And at the end of it, if I didn't like it, I could always resell it. So I purchased this as a Lego VIP, so I got it early. And as a result of that, I also managed to bag the Man United Trinity stars here, which I've not taken out of the box as I'm not a fan. And I also got the Chinese New Year of the Rat freebie as well. So it was quite a nice bundle to get through the post from Lego when it arrived. So what I plan to do now is I plan to sort of walk through some of the detail. Obviously as I'm not a fan, I probably won't have too much knowledge around some of the key features of it, but I'll try to pick up on some of the ones that I'm aware of, and we'll split it out and I'll show you how it works together. So this is the stadium all put together in one. It does actually split out into separate parts. So this stand pulls away, these two stands pull away, and this stand pulls away, so we're left with the pitch in the middle. The pitch is actually made up of tiles that have prints on of the football pitch, so the markings for the white lines are already laid out. They've also put an unusual print on a panelled piece that depicts the goal, so you've got that either end, so it's a transparent clear piece with a net on top, or printed on top. As you look through the stand, you'll also notice in this corner here you've got the classic tunnel that the players walk out of when they're coming onto the pitch. This stand also has the dugouts, which are depicted, which I'll show you shortly, and then you've got the billboards and the seating areas all around the rest. The outside is also pretty detailed, I think. They've not just spent the majority of the effort inside the stadium, they've actually looked outside. It is of a scale smaller than a micro scale, because they've used microfigs to depict statues. So this wouldn't really go so well inside a city. If you were thinking of including it in that, the scale probably wouldn't work unless you were happy with minifigures looking a bit gigantic, which is a shame, but I can see why Lego have done that, because this was probably one of the first sets they've aimed at true adult fans of Lego, and it's more of a display piece for those that are Manchester United fans, so they can stick it in their office or in their study or somewhere like that in their house. So it hasn't really got that factor where you can integrate it into a normal size city, but you could position it, I guess, in a city and make it feel like it's a stadium that's in the distance to give perspective, which might be quite a nice idea. But overall, I'm not going to include this in my Bricktown city. I'll probably either display it on the side, or I may actually resell it at some point. I'll see how I feel. So let me break it up now. Firstly, I'll just show you with one side taken off, so you get a better view from the current angle on the inside. So that's what it looks like when you've got the stand taken away, so you get a good look inside the stands and how the pitch looks. This is also separate from the rest of the build, so this is actually the micro scale statue of the trilogy. So this is what this looks like in the micro scale, and this is a statue that you'll find actually outside of the Man United Stadium. So you're free to position it where you like within your model, but I think it's supposed to stand outside this stand, and that's how it's depicted in the Lego pictures, but I'm sure Man United fans will correct me on that. So let me break through these now, and I'll go through each of the separate stands and give you some detail. So I will start with the statue first. So this is the United Trinity, which is made up of George Best, Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton, and there's a sticker that goes on top of this as well to call their names out. But these are micro scale figures that sit on top of a pretty standard build there of a stand or a plinth that the statues sit on, that you can position freely throughout the stand. And you can see that in this version, which is the scaled up version, they've used minifigures to actually depict the statues on top. So you've got the players there in minifig scale on top of another plinth as well, again with a similar sticker, probably scaled up I'd imagine, rather than in size, but you can also build that as well. You can't actually get this at the moment, so this was just a freebie that was given with the set for early buyers of it, but I'm sure if you were desperate you could probably pick it up on eBay or Bricklink, but it's probably going to cost you a bit of money, I suppose, so I'll probably keep hold of that for a while yet. So let me flip over now to the pitch, and I'll show you that because that's the first thing you build when you get the model. So this is the pitch. This is the first thing you actually build when you open up the set. As you can see, it's got some Technic pins around the side, and also some Technic holes there that you can slot the other stands into, and that's how it actually comes together. So the two stands at the side clip into place, and they lock into place, so they're stuck to the pitch, and then the two larger stands just slot in. But they can be pulled out easily. Then there's no clips on the pins used, they just slot into the holes to get into position. As I mentioned, you've got the printed tiles here to depict the pitch, and these are the parts for the goals. So these have got some panels that have got the net print stuck on top. Underneath the pitch it's just a standard frame that they built out of standard Lego bricks, and then you stick the tiles on top to form the pitch. It's quite a simple build, but it's the first bag that you get out of the box. So let's flip over to the two smaller stands, and I'll do those two together. So these are the two end stands that actually physically clip into the pitch, as I mentioned earlier, so they lock into place, so they stick to it. What I like about these is I do like the way that they're constructed, and each of these are very similar in the way that they construct, say, the seats, but there's also some architectural detail that's added on the exterior which is slightly different, and also it's quite fun building the cantilever roof that goes on top as well. And what you'll notice is the parts they use for the roof here, this part was actually originally designed for the Fiat 500 set as a windscreen, and the people that were designing the set, as they were going through some research with adult fans, they decided to use this piece again, reuse it in this set so that they can get some nice clear transparency on the roof. So what you'll find then when you go into this is that you start to build up some advertising boards. You'll then make the seats, and the seats are actually made out of 1x2 bricks that have got the grooves in, or the patterns in. So these are made from the standard 1x2 bricks. On this side you've got the vertical grooves, and on the other side you've got horizontal grooves, and they clip together and actually give this illusion that there's lots of seats stacked up here. And then you've got the stickers that they did provide as well in the set. Now I did find that there's loads of stickers in this set, so if you're not a sticker person, you may want to look away. It does get tricky. I did get a little bit jittery with putting them on because I felt that they needed to be perfect in order to give the right illusion, especially for the seats and the advertising billboards that go around the stadium. These stickers actually go onto normal regular 1x2 bricks, so they're not the grooved ones. They stick well. They've given the illusion of the continuation of the seats actually printed on the stickers. And then even when you put the sticker for the stand names up here, for instance, there's the Stretford End stuck there. I was very conscious about trying to get that straight. And then they've got the hoardings that go around as well that people stick up as fans. So that they've put a great level of detail into those kind of things, and matched some of the banners and things that you'd see actually in the stadium, which is quite nice. And then they've got things like the scoreboards here, which actually just say Manchester United versus visitors, and it's got 6 minutes 12 seconds on the counter. Man United are winning 3-0 at the moment in the match. Then on the exterior for this Stretford End, this is the end we're looking at, you can see there's some walkways and entrances in here, so there's some doors into the stalls to get through into the stadium. Those door pieces there are actually printed pieces, so they're 1x4 pieces that are printed, so they're quite nice. And then you can see the details of the structure using some standard pieces here as well. The detail of of building the roof is quite nice, so you get to connect lots of pieces together to give this overarching feel here that comes around the side, and then actually does clip into these and actually does sort of pull it up a little bit. I find there's a bit of tension there, which is quite nice, so it does actually do what it's supposed to do for real. And then on the side you've got some more stickers that are going onto tile pieces here just to depict some windows, the name of the stand, and some doorways there as well. And you can see here some more Technic pieces here that can be slotted in, which also the other stands slot into place as well. Again, they don't clip, they just slot into place, but that's on both sides as well. So that's the Stretford End. Then on this side, which the end I don't know because I haven't got a sticker on it, again you've got the detail of a sponsorship here, so you've got Adidas or Adidas depending on your preference of how you say it, that are on the seats. You've got some more banners that are going across, and then the detail on the outside here is a lot different. So here you've got more of a window piece. You've got a statue here which I think is actually of Alex Fergusson, but I might be wrong in for real. And then you've got some actually window pieces here to depict how maybe the executives to the club level people would actually be housed in there as well, and maybe some of the offices. So that's kind of how that works together. So those are the two end pieces. So let's flip over to the smaller stand now that goes along the side. So this is the larger but flatter stand that's attached to the stadium. This is the Sir Bobby Charlton stand. You can see there's a sticker here on the hoardings. This has got a slightly different roof because it's not been developed yet into the same as the other sides. So you've got a different approach here with the roof, which is quite a nice build again, slightly different to the other areas. You can see the same approach to the seating area, but in this stand you actually also have the dugout. So this is where the managers and all the training staff and substitutes for the match sit. And you can see that in the Man United stadium they've got a bricked area where there's some steps bricked up with some seats, and that's where that is, which is depicting that. And then this is the tunnel, so the famous tunnel where the players come out from the side, and this extends out to protect the players from being hit with bottles and other objects. So that's what that is. It's quite nice. These detail bits on top are nice as well, easy to put together and just clip in. Then if you rotate it around the outside, here you've got a notion of a team bus waiting to pick the players up after the match or deliver them before the match, because that's the tunnel, the area where the tunnel goes out to the dressing rooms, I guess. So this is where the players would come out after the match or enter before the match. You've got some protected walkways, so under here this is where people would walk under to get into the stand. This is just a protective area there. And then they've got the famous clock here, which, well, I presume, I hear it's famous. I'm not personally sure it's famous, but there's a sort of a clock end kind of thing here, which is important to note as well. So they've made that possible as well. So that one's fairly simple in terms of the build, but it does have some nice details, as I say, on the inside with the dugout and the tunnel and the bus as well on one side. But it's a fairly simple build, and this is the one that kind of then, I think this is the first one that you actually build. If memory serves me right, or I might be wrong. But one of the plus sides is also on this one, there's only one sticker to stick on for the seating, which is a bit of a relief, but you do have to combat the scoreboards, the dugout stickers and the advertising hoardings as well. But yeah, it was an enjoyable build on that side as well. So let's flip over now to the biggest part of the stadium, which is the Sir Alex Fergusson Stand. So this is the Sir Alex Fergusson Stand. This is the biggest part of the stadium, and it has its own different levels of sort of detail or build as well, which is enjoyable. So you've got the different roof in this corner here with these prongs that come out to depict that it's holding up this area of the roof. Same on both sides there. They use a gate piece there, which is quite nice, just to attach the different prongs as it goes out. And again, you've got the cantilever attachment for the roof. Again, it's slightly differently, so instead of the transparency going vertically, it goes horizontally through one piece here as well, and then the rest is built up with some panels, which is quite a nice different build again. I like the variety of this because it could be quite samey when you're doing the build techniques, but because of the different architecture in the stadium, it's quite nice to do some different types of building almost a similar thing. So you will enjoy that. And this is actually one piece that's connected with some hinges, and then as you put it in, you bend it into position to get the right angles, and it clips into the main structure. Here you've actually got some extra tiers of seating in here, so it goes right up to the top. So you do have to build quite a few different seat pieces actually to get the whole thing built. And then you've got the stickers again, as I mentioned earlier, to depict Manchester United written in the stands. Then as well, I just want to call out that you've got the Technic pieces, as I mentioned earlier. So these are the pieces that just slot in to the main pitch and the other stands. So there's no clips here, it's just literally slotting it into place. So it may move over time, or if you knock it, it would move out. So there's nothing holding it in. Although it is quite sturdy, so I wouldn't worry about it being too flimsy in terms of knocking things out. Then if we rotate around the back, what we have here, and I'm going to correct myself from what I said earlier, is actually this is where the Sir Alex Fergusson statue is. It's a statue of somebody else on the other one. Maybe it's George Best. Maybe I'll look that up. So there's Sir Alex Fergusson there. You've got the name of the stand here, and then you've got some level of detail of entrances and some windows around here. So I presume that people flood out of the stands and go into these areas and have drinks and get some food, and they can look out from the stadium view as well on that. So again, quite a nice level of detail, architectural stuff here that provides again something completely different to the other stands. So that's quite an enjoyable one. As I mentioned already, again we've got stickers which take up a lot of the stress of this build, should we say. So again, you've got some hoardings with Man United written on. You've got the names on the seats, and then you've got the tricky banners that go across here. So you've got the legend Ollie 20 Ollie legend, because now he's a manager, so that's one of the ones they stick up as well. And then they're talking about Sir Alex Ferguson there. So that's the build. Let me just bring it all back together and we'll summarise what my thoughts are overall. So overall, I was glad I bought this set. It showed me some clever build techniques, and I was pleased with the level of detail both inside and outside of the stadium itself. It was tricky trying to position the scoreboards and the advertising hoardings level enough to make them look realistic. And so I think Lego missed a trick and should have done more printed pieces as part of this set. I don't really have much use for this set now either. As I mentioned, it's not to scale to display in my city, and I'm not sure I really want to display a Man United stadium when I'm not a Man United fan, so it's probably just going to collect dust. But that said, I was pleased I took the plunge. If I know my football team stadium was going to be released as part of a Lego set in the future, I probably would have held off purchasing this one. But my love of football and Lego probably took hold really, and I was interested to see some of the build techniques and the architectural detail used in this stadium. So it'd be interesting to know if any of you have bought this set, whether you're a fan of Man United or not. Give me some ideas of what you thought of it, and maybe stick some comments in the comments below. That would be great. I don't suppose there's any Man City fans out there that actually purchased this. Maybe you did to burn it, but it'd be interesting to find out. So I hope you found that this run through was helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and be sure to hit the subscribe button with the bell notification turned on to be notified of future set reviews. This is the first Lego set, official Lego set I've actually reviewed on this channel, so I'd be interested to see whether you guys actually want a few more reviews as well. And until the next review in the next episode, stay safe and I'll see you then.